Hello and welcome to Buckman's Modelmania. Today we're going to be working on the D'Agostini Moomin House, stage number 70. And we have parts right here. Not a whole lot to do in this issue. Well, there is some, but not as much as in some other issues. We've got the floor, which we're going to stain. So let me bring over a piece of wax paper. One heads up about wax paper, it does block some of the stain, but it is porous as well. The stain will go right through the wax paper if you get too much on it. So let's get the parts out. What we've got in here is the floor and parts of another chair. I think, what is this? Rear legs of the chair. Doesn't say where the chair is gonna go. So let's go ahead and get the parts for the chair out. Come on. Caught on the glue there. So we got, let's see, this would be the seat, backrest, lower part of the chair, rear legs of the chair, and the front legs of the chair. Then we have the floor itself. We get the glove on, and we will pop open the stain that I have sitting right here, which I a minute ago wanted to drink from. But we'll pop open that. And as before, I'm leaving the back unstained. The front is what I'm going to stain. And then we're going to stain the beams. Actually, the beams are already stained. The floor below is the top floor of the Moomin house. This is actually for the attic. Let's get that out of the way. Thought I got stain. I should have. Got stain on my glove. And I did get a little on my finger. So let's go ahead and take this. And we'll just do a real quick coat. And then we'll wipe it off. And that will be it for the this floor. There is, in the next issue, another piece of this floor that will be staining in the next video. And because I do my videos back to back, I am not going to bother to clean up this brush. I'll just set it right there for right now. I'll try and pull one paper towel and end up rolling the roll all over the place. And then we'll just dry this off real quick. Actually, I am going to wash the brush out, otherwise it might start drying out by the time I get to the next issue. Let me go ahead and take the glove off. The gloves are coming off now, baby. And let me pause the camera while I go clean the brush. Okay, I am back. This is actually most of the way dry, and I do love the way you can see the grain of the wood. So let me go ahead and move this off to the side for right now. And let's start working on the chair. You might notice that I'm cutting mat with a mat and then another cutting mat. I'm just odd that way. I've actually had people make comments about that before. It doesn't bother me. Okay, so here we have to, just looking, we have to cut these parts apart. There are little tabs. You can see the remains of the tabs there. The larger remains right there. I'm going to sand those down to get rid of those imperfections in the wood. Wood, we use We use wood because it does have imperfections. It looks really nice with the imperfections. But those are a little bit more than what we want. I can feel it. This is so fragile. This is probably too big. Let's use a regular, just a file instead. For right now. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be good enough that I'm not bothered by it. I try and get these down completely to where I can't feel where the cut was. Okay, that's almost got it. So there is one side. This other side's going to be a little bit easier, I think. Don't know if you can hear that, but it's making a whistling, a little bit of a whistling sound as I pull the file across. And that should be good there. So we're going to take the backrest, and there are lines cut on here. They specifically have these lines on this side towards me. This is the lower leg. The legs are identical. That's the lower leg there, the longer piece. We're going to glue this in here just like this onto both sides. It says to use wood glue. What I'm going to do, I actually bought this mat to put glue into areas instead of these plastic things. Haven't gotten there yet. Haven't decided to go ahead and do that. I like the mat. Supposedly the glue is supposed to peel right out of this silicone mat. Have not, like I said, have not tried it yet. I will soon. This is, I want to say that what I've got on here, yeah, that was wood glue that was on the pin vise. So into the two slots there, come on, focus, the two slots, the two top slots, I will put a dab of glue in each, just like that. And then just slide this in there. And even with that little bit of glue, some excess shot out onto the surface, not a big deal. I could have put some along the edge here. I didn't. Not going to do it on the other side either, just a dab in each slot. That should be good. We'll slide this down into its spot. In all actuality, especially when you paint these parts, the glue is kind of a formality. When you paint it, the paint should give it almost enough support to stay in place. And we turn this over, and it says align with the back of the seat, convex edge forward. Very, very slight curve there. This side has the curve, this side is straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some glue, we're going to spread it on here. I would use the bottle, but I've got glue sitting right here. Spread it on here. It's going to smear a little bit when we push it down. And we're going to push it in place. Try and line up everything perfectly at the back. And it is sliding a little bit. So let me put this down. It is in place. And I'm going to pause the camera while I let it set a little bit, because otherwise it's going to continue to slide around. I'll be back. It's going to be a couple of minutes for me, and no time for you. So be back in a second. Okay, it is not completely set up, but it is set up enough that I should be able to put the rest of this together. I'm going to just dip this in the glue real quick. And that, there is a little bit too much. Had a little bit too much glue on there. Hang on just a second. Let me grab the Q-tip. Take a little bit of this excess off. Although it should dry pretty well, disappear. And also, since we are going to be painting this, it's not going to matter that much. But we got the two legs on there. And then we're going to do the same thing here that we did before. We're just going to take some of this glue and dab it into the two slots, like that. And then drop it. Then when we, just knock that leg off. When we slide this in, it should help to make sure that the detail underneath the seat is in place. Go ahead and put some more glue on here. Put this one back in place. Get rid of that excess right there. And the way I like to do these is when I put the chair together, I will then stand the chair up. Let me see. So yeah, the next thing that they have you do is paint the chair. I'm not going to paint the chair until I do the detail. There are some detail parts up at the top. Then I'm going to use spray paint to paint the chair. Then they've got some parts that are from previous issues that they want us to start putting into the lower levels. Just looking, connecting the floors to the house. This is only to make sure, same way, second floor, final assembly will take place, external walls. Okay, this is just to line up the floors, make sure that they all fit. I have done that. I'm just looking to see. Where does this go? First floor of the house, attach, take the previously assembled first floor of the house and attach a mirror and a light. Let me go find them and I'll be back. Okay, so had the parts in here. I have this, plus I have 3 boxes, 3 pretty large bins that have parts for this build. So I'm going to install these whenever they tell me to, because there are so many parts that are just hanging around. And so this is, for Americans, it would be the first or second floor. For the finish, this would, and anybody in Europe for the most part, this is the second, or this is the first floor. American's second floor because it is the second story up. First floor being what most of Europe, most countries outside of the United States consider consider the ground floor. So the first thing that goes on here. Oh, you know what? I did that backwards. I said earlier in this that I was going to stain the rafters and do the leave the ceiling bare. I actually did it the other way around. I stained the ceiling and leave the rafters bare. Let me show you. I think that looks better, actually. So now what they want you to do is to put the mirror approximately 60 centimeters over and approximately 40 centimeters up. They want you to use double-sided tape, which I happen to have right here. So what we're going to do is find the end of the double-sided tape first. We're going to attach it. I don't know if you see that I have my cell phone keeping it from rolling away. This actually will go on the ground floor. So I'm going to take the tape and I'm going to set it on here Matter of fact, I'm going to set it on all 3 spots so that it stays well. Okay, so got it on there, like I got it going across. We go ahead and cut this. And so you can see I've got the double-sided tape going across. Next step will be to remove the backing. Come on. Just the backing. Leave the tape behind. It's not playing nice. Next thing will be to remove the backing, if I can get it to come up. Hang on a second. Yeah, it's not playing nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the tape. I've got the tape across. I'm going to get the tape across the other 2 pieces, and then I'll come back after I have the backing off of all 3 pieces of tape. Okay, actually came back a hair earlier than I meant to. Just looked, I don't have the backing off the double-sided tape on the 2 sides, but should be able to get it off pretty easily. Sometimes it's better to use a knife to try and get the double-sided tape off the backing. There's that one. And I set it on the table instead of in the trash because that way I don't have to fight with it trying to get rid of it. Almost. Not quite, but almost. No, not quite. Sorry if I get quiet while I'm doing this. I'm concentrating. And actually, we talk about that sometimes. There are some times on some of the streams that certain individuals will monopolize all the conversation to the point where nobody else gets a word in edgewise. Okay. So I have the ruler set to where the top is about 40 centimeters up from the floor, and it's 60 centimeters over, millimeters, not centimeters. So that's going to go on there right about like that. Push this down. The mirror it's got the ability now to tilt, but not fall all the way forward. And so the bathroom mirror is now in place. Let's see how that looks good. I still have to figure out where I'm going to put lights in here. Same with every floor. And actually, this lamp here goes on the ground floor. So let me go ahead and pause again while I bring the ground floor over. Okay, and then on this light, it says to attach it on the ground floor next to the stairs, somewhere right about here, somewhere in this area. Of course, my hand is in the way. We'll go this way. Somewhere in this area here. So let me see if I can get the backing to come off the double-sided tape. And I use the larger double-sided tape. The sticky part is going to stick out beyond the edge of the lamp. Not much I can do about that. And I'm not going to sweat it because it's so small. The piece that is going to stick out. So there's that. Now the fun part is figuring out how I'm going to get this in there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, that it's not going to stick out that far. You can see the lamp, and you can barely see over here a little bit of extra tape. What I can do is just kind of fold that over onto itself. So now it's not going to be sticking out and catching any dust or anything like that. So I'm trying to keep it to where you can see it. I'll go in here through the side. We'll put that lamp, trying to make sure it stays straight. Right about there. You can see here, one of the wires, or one of my wires for the lights is pretty close to being finalized. I don't even remember which one this is for. I do think I have it resisted. So we'll show you what the effect is going to be of these little lights. And I bought a bunch more specifically for this house. Okay. Obviously, I don't have it up high enough because it's not showing anything. And of course, it's not going to show anything on this side because the actual light's on the other side. But you can see I've got it running through here. Oh, and I do not. Oh, that's bad. Thought I had it resisted. I do not. I'm glad I turned it over looked before I turned it any higher up. But you can see that's going to actually light this room pretty well. Hopefully I didn't do any damage to that light. Only had it up to 3.9 volts, so it should be okay. But no, I'm still working out how I'm going to do this with all the lights, to run them across here and somewhere out here and then put a resistor in there. Let me go ahead and turn that off. Disconnect these wires. And if I have to, I can still get in there to replace this light if I screw it up. As long as they break before I put the house completely together, everything will be fine. What you keep hearing clunking is the chandelier, which I happen to put one light directly above it. I think that actually was very fortunate. So that, let me double check. Yeah, other than stacking them, which I've done already, that, my friends, is all there is to do in this stage. Hope you're enjoying the build. It is a little bit complicated build, but still a good build. If you do, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I post new content. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think of the build. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video or stream.
Buckman's Model Mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Buckman's Model Mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models.